What would you do if your citizenship was suddenly revoked after decades? This unsettling scenario became a harsh reality for Ariel Townsend, a resident of Ajax, Ontario. Having embraced Canadian identity since infancy, Townsend's life was thrown into disarray when her citizenship was inexplicably stripped away due to a clerical oversight. The root of this crisis traces back to a misjudgment by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, which questioned the validity of her mother's Canadian citizenship at the time of her birth in Jamaica. Despite Townsend providing conclusive evidence of her mother's status, the authorities deemed her citizenship certificate invalid. This decision forced her to confront a labyrinth of legal challenges, not to mention the emotional and practical upheavals impacting her employment and cross-border family visits. The implications of this error are profound, extending far beyond one individual's disrupted life. It raises critical questions about the robustness of our systems and the safeguards we have in place to protect the most fundamental rights of individuals. Imagine the shock of losing your nationality overnight. Now let's uncover how such a drastic mistake occurred. How does someone lose their citizenship due to an administrative error? In the case of Ariel Townsend, a resident of Ajax, Ontario, this bewildering situation stems from a grave mistake made by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, or IRCC. Let's delve into the specifics of this error to understand how a bureaucratic oversight can have drastic personal consequences. The crux of the issue lies in the circumstances of Townsend's birth and her mother's citizenship status. Born in Jamaica, Townsend was registered as a Canadian citizen since infancy, a status she held uncontested for 32 years. The error occurred when the IRCC revisited her case and erroneously concluded that her mother was not a Canadian citizen at the time of Townsend's birth. This conclusion was reached despite Townsend providing substantial evidence to the contrary. The evidence included documents that clearly showed her mother had indeed been a Canadian citizen before Townsend was born. However, the IRCC dismissed these documents, declaring Townsend's citizenship certificate invalid. This decision did not just appear out of thin air, but was the result of a misinterpretation or misapplication of the citizenship laws that govern such cases. The implications of this error were immediate and severe for Townsend. With her citizenship revoked, she was thrust into a legal limbo, affecting her employment and her ability to travel, particularly to the United States where she has family ties. The emotional and psychological toll, as one might imagine, was also significant. To address this error and attempt to regain her citizenship, Townsend now faces the daunting task of applying under special discretionary grounds. This process is not only complex but also costly, exceeding $600, a substantial sum that adds financial injury to bureaucratic insult. With her citizenship revoked, Townsend faces a complex battle to regain what was wrongly taken from her. The case of Ariel Townsend is a stark reminder of the profound impact administrative errors can have on individual lives, highlighting the need for accountability and precision in governmental procedures. The revocation of citizenship is not just a formality, it reshapes lives. Imagine waking up one day to find that the citizenship you've held since infancy has been revoked. This is the stark reality for Ariel Townsend, a resident of Ajax, Ontario, whose life was turned upside down by a bureaucratic blunder. For over 3 decades, Townsend lived as a Canadian citizen, only to have her status nullified over an alleged error made years before she was even aware. The implications of this are not merely administrative. Townsend faced immediate personal and professional turmoil. Professionally, her job stability came under threat. Working in Canada and potentially in the United States requires valid citizenship or immigration status. The revocation puts her employment at risk, casting a shadow of uncertainty over her financial security. On a personal front, Townsend's ability to freely visit family in the United States has been jeopardized. What was once a routine cross-border visit now looms as a logistical nightmare. Tangled in the red tape of visas and border regulations, the emotional toll is palpable. Townsend expressed shock and concern, finding herself suddenly alienated from the very community she has been part of for all her life. The psychological impact of such a significant and abrupt change in her legal identity is profound, leaving her to grapple with feelings of insecurity and disbelief. This situation is more than an inconvenience. It is a life-altering event that questions the reliability and efficiency of governmental processes that citizens trust to uphold their rights and identities. Townsend's ordeal underscores the profound impact bureaucratic errors can have on individual lives. What does Townsend's story tell us about citizenship laws and rights? When Ariel Townsend's Canadian citizenship was abruptly revoked after 32 years due to a bureaucratic error, it exposed a much larger issue than a single administrative oversight. This case underscores a fundamental truth. Citizenship, often viewed as a permanent and secure status, can be surprisingly fragile, and its loss can have profound legal and social implications. Legally, the revocation of Townsend's citizenship thrusts her into a labyrinth of bureaucratic processes. To regain what was wrongfully taken from her, she now faces a daunting path that involves applying for citizenship under special discretionary grounds. A process not only lengthy but also costly, with fees exceeding $600. This legal ordeal highlights a critical gap in the safeguards that are supposed to protect citizens from such errors. Socially, the implications are equally significant. Citizenship is not just a legal status, it forms the bedrock of an individual's identity and sense of belonging within a society. For Townsend, losing her citizenship means not just a loss of legal status, but potentially losing her job, facing restrictions on travel, and experiencing a profound sense of displacement and insecurity. This disruption extends beyond the individual, affecting family and community ties, and highlighting how deeply interconnected our social fabric is with our legal identities. The complexities and consequences of Townsend's case bring to light the often overlooked reality that citizenship laws and policies are not just abstract regulations but have tangible impacts on human lives. They shape opportunities, security, and the very essence of what it means to belong. This case raises important questions about how citizenship laws are applied, and the safeguards in place to protect individuals from such errors. As we navigate the intricacies of legal systems and bureaucratic procedures, it becomes clear that there is a pressing need to reassess how citizenship determinations are made, and ensure that protections against errors are not just adequate but robust, ensuring no one has to endure what Townsend has faced. How can we prevent similar errors from disrupting more lives in the future? To mitigate such errors, it's crucial to first enhance the verification processes within immigration departments. This means implementing more sophisticated data management systems that can effectively cross-check and verify the information provided by applicants against multiple sources. Such systems would reduce human error and ensure discrepancies are caught early in the process. Training is another critical area. Immigration officials must be thoroughly trained, not just in the technical aspects of their job, but also in understanding the complexities of citizenship cases that span decades and might involve nuanced legal and historical considerations. Regular training updates would help keep the staff abreast of changes in laws and procedures and improve their decision-making capabilities. Furthermore, establishing clearer guidelines for handling cases where citizenship status is questioned is imperative. These guidelines should include detailed steps for officials to follow when discrepancies arise, ensuring that every case is treated with the meticulous attention it deserves. This would help maintain consistency across all cases, preventing the kind of oversight that affected Ariel Townsend. In addition to these internal measures, immigration departments should also set up a transparent and accessible appeals process. This process should allow for a swift review of decisions, particularly in cases where an error may have led to the revocation of citizenship. By facilitating a quicker resolution in such scenarios, the emotional and social impact on the individuals involved can be significantly minimized. Finally, communication between immigration authorities and the individuals affected needs to be clear and continuous. Keeping applicants informed about the status of their cases and any issues that arise can help manage expectations and provide clarity on the necessary steps to address any concerns. With thoughtful reforms, we can hope to protect others from the turmoil experienced by Townsend. Today we've explored a troubling mistake with far-reaching consequences. The revocation of Ariel Townsend's Canadian citizenship after 32 years, due to an error by the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, serves as a stark reminder of the fragility and significance of citizenship. This error stemmed from a misinterpretation of Townsend's mother's citizenship status at the time of her birth. The impacts on Townsend have been profound and personal. She faces uncertainty regarding her employment, her ability to travel, and her sense of identity. This situation underscores the potential personal upheavals that can arise from administrative errors. Legally and socially, this case has stirred considerable discourse. It highlights the need for stringent checks within governmental agencies to prevent such errors. Moreover, it raises questions about the treatment of citizens and the processes that can alter their lives without forewarning. To prevent such occurrences in the future, we recommended clear and consistent application of citizenship laws, improved training for government employees, and mechanisms for rapid correction of bureaucratic mistakes. These steps are critical to ensuring that citizens are not unjustly penalized due to administrative oversights. As we reflect on Townsend's ongoing struggle, let us consider the value of citizenship and the importance of vigilance in its protection.